people, and welcome. In this video, we're talking about evaluating nonlinear expressions. Now, that's a very fancy title. What we mean to say is we're going to be using substitution to evaluate some expressions, meaning there's no equal sign in what we're doing. We're not solving for anything. We're just simplifying things, plugging in values for our variables, and figuring out what the answer is going to be. Now, nonlinear means that we may have exponents in what we're doing. We may have things that are not going to give us a line when we graph it. And that's okay because all we're doing is we're just simplifying and we are evaluating these expressions. As always, disclaimer time, I am human, so if I make a mistake, that's okay. Let me know where it is so I may learn from it. Let's go ahead and start with the very first one. We're just going to jump into examples. I want to know, so it says evaluate the expression when Q is equal to 2. And now what they give us for the question is 2Q cubed. When you are evaluating an expression, what you are doing, doesn't matter what type of expression it is, they are telling you the value of something. They tell you that Q is 2. So when you are solving this, when you are evaluating this, you are going to substitute in for the value that they give us. In this case, they say Q is 2. So I'm going to write 2 instead of writing Q. So now what do we have? Well, we have 2 times 2 cubed. If you watched the previous video, you know that that means this 2 right here is the base. This 3 is the exponent. So now what do I have? I have 2 times, well, here's my base. How many times am I writing it? I'm writing my base 3 times. So what do I really have now? Look what I have now. I have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. This original 2 was outside of my base, was outside of my bubble, and it's still there. But now that we have expanded our exponent, right, we have written our base 3 times, we can now just simply continue to multiply 2 at a time until we are done with our multiplication. In this case, it is 16, and that is our final answer. All right, let's go ahead and move on to another example. Trying to think of a good one here. All right, let's do another one, example 2. This one's going to be evaluate V plus 15 divided by V plus 18 when V is equal to -7. So again, what we're doing is we are substituting, we are taking this V value and we are replacing the V with that actual integer. So what do we have? We have bubble plus 15 divided by bubble plus 18. So now we're taking that V value and putting it inside of our bubble. So we're putting -17 inside our, -7 into our bubble here in place of V. And now we are going to simplify. If you want to use counters, that's fine. You don't have to use counters. If you would like to use a number line, that's fine. Or you can simply see that I have 15 and I have -7. That means 15 minus 7. You can kind of read it like that. So 15 minus 7, I don't know what that is. I'm going to use my fingers instead. So I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That means I have 8. I have 8, and I have more positives. I have 15 positives, so that means my 8 it will be positive. Here I have 18, and I take away 7. I have a total of 11. And then simplify the fraction if you can, since we do have fractions. 8 and 11 have nothing in common, so that is my answer. Let's do 2 more before we wrap this video up. It's going to be very short as well. And we are on example number 3. Now this one's going to be a little bit more challenging. I wanted to challenge you. X plus y minus z, all divided by z squared. 4. Now you're going to solve this for, or evaluate it. X is equal to -3. Y is equal to -7. No, just kidding. Let's make that positive. Let's make it +7. And z is equal to 3. So you're going to evaluate this expression given these 3 values. Don't let that scare you. Let's write it out nice and big over here. We're just going to start plugging stuff in. X is -3. So x is -3. -3 is going to go inside that bubble. Y is 7. So 7 is going to go inside that bubble. And what do we have here? Z is 3. So 3 is going to go inside this bubble. And Z is going to go inside this bubble, since we have 2 Z's over here. So how would that look like? So I would like for you to write this out. Make sure you're writing out them with bubbles, keeping the symbol. So notice I kept the minus and I kept the plus here. The minus and the plus stayed. We're not doing anything with those. And then I have bubble squared. So what goes inside of x? Inside of x goes a -3. What goes inside of y? Inside of y goes 7. What goes inside of 3? Inside of 3 goes, just kidding, inside of 3. Do you guys see what I did there? Inside of x goes 3. And we're going to solve. Now, when we're solving these, you want to always work with the numerator first and then the denominator. We want to evaluate it. So let's evaluate. I have a -3 plus a 7 minus a 3, all divided by 3 squared. Now, I understand that I didn't really do anything, but that's okay. Here, we're going to use PEMDAS. So here's a thinking bubble. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses go first, but there's nothing inside of parentheses that I can do. Exponents go second. Here's an exponent. So let's do that. Let's expand this and say I have a base of 3. I'm writing it twice. Here's my base of 3, writing it twice. Now, what is 3 times 3? 3 times 3 is 9, so I can write that there. And let's do this. I have a -3 plus a 7 minus 3. So be careful here. Yes, I have a -3 and a -3, but that does not cancel out. Let's use counters here. I have -3, 1, 2, 3. I have +7. I have 7 positives. And I have 3 more negatives. Think 0 pairs. So I'm going to do 1 0 pair, 2 0 pairs, 3 0 pairs. That all goes away. Then I have more 0 pairs. Notice I have more 0 pairs. I have these 0 pairs. I have this 0 pair, and I have this 0 pair. So these 3 minuses cancel out with these 3 negatives. What am I left over with? I am left over with 1 positive. So I'm going to say a +1 here. You can leave the plus out, or you can keep the plus. I don't care. Either way is fine. All right, beautiful people, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you in my next one.